Welcome to the Takeover. This is episode 4 here at the Shady Valley. And tonight we have 3 amazing head-to-head races. But before we get into that, here's the current standings. Most notable tonight we have Phantom dropping himself all the way down to the bottom with 175 street cred and 2 losses on the season. Papa Pug's winning his last race, bringing him back to where he started, sitting right at 400. And not forgetting Hades, who won his last race, bringing him back into the underground. And for the first race, I'm finally getting into my car, 92 BMW M3, going up against Marcus Firegon in the 64 Galaxy with 1 win already on the season. And while Marcus and I drive up the valley, introducing Godfrey from the SMB crew.
I'm taking over and hosting for tonight. Got a takeover event by your boy Godfrey 2K. Why? Because King Triz is on the tracks. Let's get started. All right, we got our brother Marcus Foregone on the inside lane, King Triz on the right in the BMW. They're both off to a hot start around the waterfall, down on the final stretch. King Triz would have decided to finish, and we've got a DNF from Marcus. All right, let's see what Marcus can do in this next race. Slots are switched, and they're off. Corner 1, corner 2, corner 3. Teddy with another decided finish, and it looks like our brother Marcus has stopped to get something from the quickie mark. Looks like our brother is a couple fries short of a Happy Meal. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Another day is gone. SMB races, over and out.
That was our boy Godfrey representing SMB. You can see him racing over at the SMB races here on the channel. SMB Race 8 coming soon. And as you can see here, something's wrong with Marcus's car. It may not be a good look for him moving on into Takeover. We'll find out more about that later. Unfortunately for Marcus, every race matters. That drops him down to 300 street cred and added 1 loss to his season record. I'll be moving up the ranks with 550 street cred. Let's move on to our second set of drivers. Alright, we got 2 new drivers looking to make a name for themselves in the valley. We got Puff in the Porsche 930 and Grumpy Cloud in the DMC DeLorean. Let's see what these guys have. Lap on, we got Grumpy on the outside, Puff on the inside, and coming down the first stretch you see Puff with an initial lead, but Grumpy being close behind, sticking on his tail all the way down to the final stretch. But Grumpy spins out of the intersection. Puff takes his first win. Everything was looking good for Grumpy until that last stretch. Let's see what he can do again in lap 2, and they're off. Grumpy making up for the last race. He takes the lead. Puff being close behind, though he's not giving up, and Puff spins out. But no, he recovered and he comes over and finishes the race pretty slowly. This is right where I thought Puff spun out, but he recovered pretty nicely. Good enough to finish the race. Grumpy Cloud with the faster time puts him back on the inside for lap number 3, and they're off. Grumpy Cloud takes the lead once again. Puff not giving up. He's close behind once again, pressuring all the way to the end, but it was not enough. Grumpy takes the win. Drivers doing pretty good on their first time down the valley. Unfortunately for Puff, that puts a loss down for him with a street cred of 325. Grumpy going in the opposite direction for street cred of 450. This next race is a call out. If you remember episode 1, Mr. Dark got a ticket. Nobody won that race and Bolo wasn't happy, so he called out Mr. Dark in another race. So here we have our first call out. Now a call out adds extra street cred. If you're the challenger and you win, you get 50. If you lose as a challenger, you lose 75. As a defender, if you win, you get an extra 50, but you don't lose anything if you lose the race as a defender. Remember, these points are only extra points on top of your regular street cred. And for those who don't know or forgot, here's a reminder of the bad blood between Bolo and Mr. Dark. Here comes Bolo Brown. He gets blocked by Mr. Dark though. Seems like they're coming to complete stop. 7.723. That's a pretty fast time. And here comes Mr. Dark by himself on the final stretch. Finishes the lap for his win. Yep, Bolo Brown is on his route. Tried to pass Mr. Dark, but he couldn't, and he turned over with all the speed that
he gave accident, man. And if we don't finish this race quick, I think they're gonna be on their way.
Yeah. Oh, the cops are here. So here we are, Bolo Brown in the 69 Camaro with 325 street cred, going up against Mr. Dark in the 350Z with 300 street cred. Let's go. Lap 1, Bolo's on the inside, Dark on the outside. They're going down the initial stretch. They're going head to head. Bolo's in front and he spins out again. Oh my goodness. Dark takes the win on the outside lap. That's not a good look for Bolo. Let's see how he got there. Both races are basically head to head and Bolo goes up, gets T-boned by Dark and he's going backwards. He loses control and rides the edge of the track. And right here you see Dark is actually hunting him down and pushes him off after the waterfall. Now listen, I know I said this guy's had bad blood, but I didn't know it was that bad. Let's go on to lap 2. Dark on the inside this time, Bolo on the outside. Dark takes a commanded lead coming out the first corner and he, wow. Again, these guys are, there's something else. This, however, is good for Bolo as he's on the inside again, going down the first stretch, but Dark takes the lead. Bolo's close behind after the waterfall. Coming down the final stretch, Bolo does not have enough speed to pass. And with that lap win, Dark takes the whole race. And he sets a top 5 time. Let's see where he lines up. With a 7.316, he has the 3rd fastest lap time in the Valley. Congratulations, Dark. This, however, was not a good race for Bolo Brown because he took a risk by calling out Mr. Dark and he lost, which means not only is he losing regular street cred, he's also going to lose an extra 75, which puts him at the bottom of the list with 100 street cred, very close to being not protected by anybody in the Vale anymore. He has a lot of work to do. Mr. Dark, on the other hand, is climbing up that ranks with 450, and that's a good day for him. Here's a recap of all the head-to-head races tonight. Puff versus Grumpy. Grumpy coming out on top with 450, Puff with 325. Triz versus Marcus. Triz coming out with 550. Marcus having car problems. We'll see what that does, but he has 300 right now. And Mr. Dark getting called out by Bolo Brown and successfully defending that call out. See you guys next time.